So it's about 5:30 in the morning. I'm in an alleyway in downtown Simcoe, because what better place to be when the sun is coming up than hanging out in an alleyway? Anyway, it's looking like it's going to be a nice day. The sun is up over the edge of the horizon there a little bit, and it's clear out, so that's fantastic. So what am I doing in this alleyway anyway? Well, I wanted to show you something. Usually alleyways are places that we avoid. Certainly early in the morning and late at night, we consider them basically cast off places. They're abandoned places. They're bereft of life. At least they tend to be bereft of the kind of life that we would like to have around us. They're a little bit scary. So the particular place where I am this morning, I'm in behind Peaceful Arts, Suzanne's art studio, and she's actually done something quite remarkable to her alleyway. She has taken it upon herself to clean it up and get a group of volunteers, and together they reclaimed this space, and they did it in quite a remarkable way. So as you can see, we have this wonderful artwork. There's some smaller pieces over here. They've got these lights strung up that gives it a real cafe feel. Now, it'd be nice if the lights were on, but I'm not going to go knocking on people's doors and ask them to turn on their cafe lights. But this whole area is all done up to make it beautiful. And not just beautiful, but we've got this whole section here of just positive, encouraging messages. All kinds of different people have come together to leave their notes on the wall. Now, it's rather interesting that when this happened, the scripture for the week that I was supposed to preach on was this weird, obscure little text about Jeremiah buying a field. I mean, why is that even in the Bible, right? Why is that detail important? Well, it turns out that it was important because at the time, Jerusalem was under siege. So Judah was being invaded by the Babylonians, and that's not really a good time to buy property when you've got a foreign army who's actually camped out on the property that you're looking at buying. So when Jeremiah bought that land, he wasn't so much buying the land as he was expressing hope. So he was essentially saying that although the forces of the world seem arrayed against us right now, and things seem pretty bleak and pretty terrifying and pretty scary and unstable, that there is going to be a day when, again, we'll be planting crops and raising families and doing all those normal things. So his buying of the field was essentially an expression of hope. And that's essentially what I see when I see all of this. When I look back here and see what's going on in this alleyway, it's that expression of hope. It's saying that, although outwardly things seem as though they're maybe not all that good, things are not that pretty, things are a little bit scary, but you know what? We're going to clean it up, and we're going to act as though life is good. And it's remarkable that when we do such a thing, it turns out that we're no longer just acting as though life is good. Life is in fact good. We've actually made a difference. Now, certainly these days, it seems as though the forces of the world are arrayed against us. I mean, 2020 has been just a disaster of a year. I mean, the whole world is in lockdown. Nobody knows if things are ever going to be back to normal, whatever normal may be. We're not sure if we even want to go back to the way things were. And things that we don't even think about, like the wildfires in Australia were like a massive thing, and they're overshadowed by it's just disaster after disaster. So the message of Jeremiah, and I think the message that Suzanne was conveying here with her friends and the folks that she invited to help her, is what can we do in the face of the world that demonstrates our hope? So what is it that you can do in your life, in your family, in your community, that demonstrates that there is hope, that despite how things look in the world, that there will again be a day when we're hugging our loved ones, when we're kissing our children, when we're actually shaking hands with strangers and not living in fear. So today, whatever it is that you choose to do with your day, I encourage you to make sure that whatever it is that you are doing is an expression of hope and confidence, not defeat. We don't abandon our alleyways. we reclaim them because creation is good.